Hey everybody, I've got a fun little mini book project today that we're going to make. It's super cute. It's going to be really small. It's about, I want to say 3 by 4 or 2 3/4 by 4. I'm not sure exactly what size it is. Actually, I'm pretty sure it's 2 3/4 by 4. So it's going to be a really small mini book. So I'm going to show you it. I'm using the printable, and it's called the Pocketbook Printable. So these are the covers, so it's going to look like distressed weathered wood. And then this top piece is a liner, or you can use it for other pieces in the book, but I'll show you when I make the mini book how we're going to use all these little pieces. And then these are the pages. So you would cut these out as one piece. There's 2 pieces per page, but you're going to cut each piece out as a whole piece. So it looks like it's 2 different pages, but you want to cut that out together like this. And then you're going to fold those in half. Okay, and the printables come with a backing, so because we're going to use both sides. So on the back you're going to print the distressed paper on the back with lines, so that way all of your papers end up double-sided. So if you print it like that, you're definitely going to get every edge covered on the back of these pieces. So I did that on the back of all my pieces, so you can see. These are some file folders, super fun. And this one's just a plain one that I printed out. Here's a solid pattern with some distressing. I don't know if you can see it really well. This is a very shabby chic sort of theme, but it's also really Eastery looking and fun, and there's no specific theme really. Some Polaroid frames that are the same size as the pages. Love these, so I printed some extras of those, and you get those in a few colors. Some distressed ledger. Some more decorative pages. So you can see those. And lots of file folders too. Distressed one, that one you can use over and over again. And then you're going to get some plain file folders in a couple of different colors, which is fun. And then a patterned one. I may have already showed you this one. And then some more decorative pages. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these out and fold them in half, and then I'll be right back to show you how we're going to stitch our book together and make our covers. Alright guys, I've cut out all my little pages, and you can see there's quite a bit. So I've got all my Polaroid pieces cut out, and I want to give you a tip on the Polaroid ones. What I do is before I cut out that middle square, I fold this in half first because it's just easier. If you cut it out first, it's going to be kind of hard to cut on that crease. So fold it first, then cut that out. And how I cut this out is I basically start with some precision scissors, and I just cut swirled. I keep going until I meet the edge, and then I cut the edge out. And it just makes it easier to cut without destroying the edges of your paper. So quick tip, there's a quick tip on those. And then I've got all my little normal pages cut out, and you'll see they're all double-sided. They've got journaling on the inside because I printed that back liner on there. So super fun, really cute. I love the size. Little mini book. And then I've got all the little file folders cut out too, which are also double-sided. That one's backwards. So those are a lot of fun. Those could be used over and over and over again. Alright, so we'll get to those later, the stitching. I want to show you how to do the cover first, since the cover requires a little bit of drying time. I've gone ahead and cut out my covers and corner around one side on each of my chipboard covers, and you're going to cut these down. If your printer prints like mine does, and it prints actual size, which you always want to print actual size, you should cut your chipboard covers at 2 3/4 by 4 inches, okay? Because all these pages will fit a 2 3/4 by 4 inch book. Alright, so what you're going to do is you're going to grab some matte multi-medium, a 1 3/8 inch, a hole punch, a pen, and a paintbrush. And we're going to start with our front cover first. I'm going to go ahead, you'll notice on the front cover you've got a little circle there. You're going to go ahead and punch that out. So that circle is just a hair smaller than 1 3/8 of an inch in diameter. So just kind of center your punch the best you can on there and punch it out just like that. And then get your front cover of your chipboard piece. I'm going to use this one because that one's got a beat up corner. And I'm going to lay it over the top. Like this, and then I'm going to take a pen and I'm going to trace that circle on the inside, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to punch out that circle with my punch. And this is, who makes this? Paper Shapers. Who makes EK Success? These are great punches because they do punch through really thick chipboard. So you can see this chipboard is not thin stuff. So what you do is, there's a trick to it though, because it won't punch all the way through. It might, but usually it doesn't. So start to punch. It's a little tough, but it works. So see how I've started punching? Now I'm going to open up just a little bit and then I'm going to swivel, push again, swivel, and then you can kind of turn it the other way. And then you kind of have to back out and come in from the other side. And part of it is raised so you can get it to line up perfectly again. And then you should be able to punch the rest of it out. Just like that. There you go. So that's all you need to do. You're not going to do this, or you are, actually, did I do it on my back cover? No, I didn't do it on the back cover. The back cover, you're going to punch out that hole as well, but the back's going to be done a little bit different because you don't want an actual hole in the back. All right, next thing you're going to do is ink, or actually you're not going to ink the edges of your paper. You're going to go ahead and cover your chipboard with some matte multi-medium. There's paper in there. And mine is like super old already. So take your front cover and cover the whole chipboard in matte multi-medium. You want a medium to thick coat on there, and you want to make sure it's not drying before you put your paper on top. So you have to coat every little piece. If you leave anything uncoated, your paper is going to bubble up and it's not going to look like wood when you seal it on top. So you want a nice, smooth, sort of waterproof coat when we're done with this. All right, so once you've covered the whole thing, just, you know, tilt it in the light and see if there's any dry spots, and make sure you go over those spots that might look a little dry. And then you're going to go ahead and put your piece of paper right over the top. Make sure that you're centering it with that circle. Mine's pretty dead on there, except for this one little side. There we go. And in my case, my paper is just a teeny bit bigger than my chipboard, but it doesn't matter because we're going to sand this and fit it to our chipboard in a little bit here. All right, and then on the back, I'm just going to take a piece of scrap paper. I think I'm going to do, let's see, how about like a grid? And I'm going to do the same thing on the back. Oh, shoot, I'm coating the wrong side. Weeks. So when you're doing your back, make sure you're doing the right side. So this is actually the side that I'm going to coat because, or actually no, never mind. There is no print on it, so it doesn't matter what side you do. Haha. All right, yay for bloopers, right? Because I always leave my little flubs in my videos. So coat that really well. And then we're going to put our back piece on. And remember, it's okay if it hangs over the edge a little bit because we're going to sand this when everything is said and done. And actually, I think I changed my mind. I think I want a different color to go on the inside, so I'm going to grab this scrap paper here, and I'm going to put the circle on the back. And you're probably wondering, what the heck is she doing with these circles? But you'll see soon enough, and I think you'll like it. All right, so I'm sticking that in there, and it's nice and flush. All right, and then once the cover is dry, you're going to go ahead and take a sanding block, and you're going to sand those edges. So, and then after you sand those edges, you want to pick out your favorite ink to ink your edges, and then you're going to seal it with matte medium. I'm going to use Shabby Taupe by Embellishing. And I'll be right back. Okay, so I ended up using Attic Dust and Shabby Taupe, which are these two colors by Embellishing. Love these, they work really well. So that's what my edges look like right now. Pretty cool, love those colors. And now we're going to coat this with some matte multi-medium. So you just need a really, I usually do a medium to thick coat. But you want to start with a thin coat first, and then when the thin coat dries, then you could do another coat, and it will give it this really nice, smooth, sort of varnished looking surface. And you guys have seen me do this lots of times, so I usually do this on just about all of my covers, so all of my mini book covers, because it just makes it last a long time, and you know, prevents it from getting destroyed from oil on your hands and things like that, and dust and stuff. So one of the main reasons I do this is for dust, because I do keep these on my shelf, and if you do coat them like this, you don't have to worry about the inside of your books, but the covers will get quite dusty sometimes, especially if you live out in the middle of nowhere like we do. So I can dust them really easily if I coat them. So I'm going to go ahead and coat the back, and then we're going to go ahead and get started on stitching our books. So set these aside to dry. Okay, so now I've got a nice big needle and some pink crochet thread. I did about 3 yards folded in half on the needle, so I halved it up. So 1.5 yards is how long you need your thread to be. And you're going to take out, you guys have seen me do the Coptic stitch before. We're going to do a 2-row Coptic stitch this time. I think last time we did a 4-row or something like that. So you're going to take 2 signatures out of your stack and put one inside the other and open it up. And I'd say about 1 inch from the top, you're going to make a hole right on the fold, right on the crease with your needle, okay? So see, I've got my hole. Now I'm going to take the inside of the signature out. I'm going to flip it this way, and I'm going to use the existing holes as a guide to do my bottom hole. So I did my bottom one, and then now I'm going to flip it so I could do the top one on this one. Okay, so now I'm going to use one of these as my template for all the rest of my holes, and they'll be the same distance from the top as they are the bottom. So go ahead and do that to all your signatures, and I usually do several at a time like this, because it just saves time and it's easy. So I'm going to go ahead and punch all my holes. Alright, so now we're ready to start stitching. So you are going to go ahead and go into your regular pages and pick out what you want to be the first page in your book. So, and just keep in mind that a little bit of it is going to show through, and I think I actually really like this one that ends up being on my first page anyway. So I'm going to start with that one, and then also pick out what your second page is going to look like. I'm going to pick a file folder, and let's see, which one do I want? I want to make sure that it's the right side up. I think I'm going to do this really pretty rose one next. Okay, so start with your first page. You're going to go on the inside. You're going to go through the top hole of your first signature, okay? So see the bottom hole's right down here. And you're going to pull just a little bit through, and then you're going to grab your second page, which is going to be this little file folder, and put this page on top, and you're going to go through the top hole of your second page, okay? And then go ahead and pull your thread all the way through. Well, not all the way through. You want to leave a little bit of a tail hanging out. So about that much. See how that's hanging out on my first page? And then, so I'm on the inside of my second page now. On the inside of your second page, you're going to go through the bottom hole now. So go through the bottom hole, and then go through the bottom hole of your first signature as well. So I see I came out the spine. Now I'm going to go back in the bottom hole of my first signature. Okay, and then pull tight all the way through this time, holding that tail so that your thread doesn't go all the way through. Now we're on the inside of the first page. We're going to tie this off into a knot, and that'll anchor our thread for the rest of the project. So nice tight little knot, and then just cut a little bit of the excess off, and we'll cut it down some more later. So now you're going to go out to the spine. So see, this is the second page, this is the first page. We're going to go right back out the hole that we just came into, and we're going to end up out the spine. So now we're not going to go back into the second signature anymore. We're going to add a signature. So go ahead and pick your next page. I think I'm going to do a Polaroid frame this time in this tan color, or do I have a lot of tan next to each other? No, I'll do a different color. Let's do, where'd that pink one go? Let's do pink. All right, so I've added my third page, which is this Polaroid frame. I'm going to go in the bottom hole of the Polaroid frame and then out the top hole from the inside and pull all the way through. And just make sure you're not letting your string get tangled. And then once you've done that, you're going to grab the stitch. So you're going to go in between your first and second signature like this, and you're going to go under that stitch, and you're basically looping around that stitch. Okay? So see, I grabbed that stitch, and now I can close that third signature, and now I'm going to add my fourth signature. So for my fourth signature, I'm going to pick a regular page. Let's do this one here. I'm going to go in through the top hole of that fourth signature and out the bottom hole like we did before. And then this time, I'm going to grab the stitch that is right next to the bottom hole. So see the little stitch from my previous page? I'm going to grab that one just like this and go under it. And then now I'm ready to add my fifth page. So pretty easy. You just keep doing this same little pattern until you've got all of your pages added. And then I will be back and I will show you how we're going to put our covers on. How we're going to tie this off and put our covers on. So I just went in the bottom hole of that sixth or fifth signature, and I'm going out the top hole. And I'm grabbing the stitch, the previous stitch. So you're going to keep doing this over and over and over again. And you'll see it goes by really fast. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll show you how to tie off the end piece. Alright, so I'm on my last page here. I'm going to add this page now. So you can see I've got 30 pages in my book because I doubled up on, I think the Polaroids, I want to say. I printed an extra Polaroid. Oh, my string got a little uneven there. So I'm grabbing the stitch, and then this is really easy. Instead of adding a signature now that you're on the last page, you're going to go back into the last signature, just like this. You're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut your thread, leaving a little bit left, just like that. And then you're going to split it. So split the thread, just like. Okay, so what I was saying before the camera died was you're going to split the thread, tuck one thread underneath this little loop here from your stitch, and then you're going to tie the thread together in a double knot. So super easy. So there is the guts to your book, and then now we are going to work on the inside of our books, or I mean the covers of our books. So I've got my covers here, and what happened to my paper? Did I fold it in half as a page? I think I may have folded my liner in half as a page. Oh shoot. Alright, let me go, oh wait, no, it's right here. Okay, so this is pretty easy part. These are nice and pretty dry now. So I'm going to go ahead and do my liner. So your liner, you're going to cut this into, you're going to print out 2 of these. I'll get my little gun here. Alright, so we're going to cut this one in half. Just like this. And if I didn't have a hole in my front cover, I would just glue the back page to the cover. Like we're going to, like on the back piece, we're going to put glue on this page, and this is going to be the liner. So that's how we're going to glue our back cover on. But for the front, since I've got that hole, I'm going to fold this in half. And then I'm going to cut about this much off. I'm just using this wood grain, the plank image, to make cut a straight line. And you can border punch this folded piece if you want to. You can do whatever you want to it. Alright, and then you're going to go ahead and glue it down to this piece, and then we're going to punch it out again. Or actually, you know what? Let's trace it and punch it out. So flip it over and put your cover right up against that seam. And do a little tracing, careful not to get any blue pen on your cover like I just did. And then just punch that hole out. Just like that, and then line it. So you'll have about a 1/2 inch lip on there. So I'm gonna go ahead and line this with some ATG tape. I don't need to use the matte multi-medium on the inside cover because it's not gonna be exposed to the elements, so I'm not as worried about it. But I am gonna cover the entire thing with adhesive so I don't have any bubbles in my paper. And I'm just folding over the extra adhesive that's hanging off the edge there. Just like this. And then the inside circle as well, because I don't want any adhesive to show. And I'm trying not to touch it too much because I don't want it to lose its stickiness. And I'm going to line up my holes like this. Right. And anything that's hanging over the edge, you can kind of rub the glue with your finger and it should just roll right off. And little boogers. Beckham! And that's my son trying to get in. Mommy! Oh, hold on, let me take care of him really quick. Alright, I think Garrett came to the rescue on that one. So I've glued that down and now I'm just going to trim off anything that is hanging over the edge because this paper is just slightly bigger than my cover. You can take your sanding block to it if you want to. I'm just going to trim it off because I think it'll work just fine for this. And around my little corner. Alright, I think that's pretty good. Alright, and then I'm going to ink my edges really quick. So I used 2 inks. I used Shabby Taupe by Ingville Bohm and Attic Dust, I think is what the other one's called. It's kind of a gray. And this just gives me a little bit of the brown aged color, but it's still staying true to the color scheme of the paper because there's a lot of sort of taupe-ish gray tones in the paper. I'm also doing the circle in the middle, just like that, a little more there. And I'm not being a perfectionist about it because, you know, I like the distressed look. So I'm not too picky there. Alright, and then I'm going to go ahead and ink the circle again for continuity. Alright, now this little border here is going to get glued to your top inside piece of your book, and I'm going to use some Scotch Quick Dry for that because I don't want it to be a sticky crease. You can even add a little bit of lace to this piece, which I probably will later to make it look pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and line it up with the top and the bottom. I'm going to fold it over, just kind of slide it around until it's in the right place. And then you just gotta hold it down for a little bit. So once you start filling this book up with your wallet size pictures or your Instax pictures, this book will become a lot tighter than this. Alright, so now when you open your cover, you'll see you've got this little edge on there. So I would add, you can add some embellishing there if you want to, but I'm not going to. I'm going to show you something fun to do with this front cover. So over here, I've got some Junkin Gems and these little circle rhinestones. So I'm going to put some little rhinestones on this little cutout. And if you really like this project, there's another version of this book in my my new book that's coming out late this month. It's called Mixed Media Arts, Crafts, and Scrapbooking. And there's a whole chapter on mini books in there. And I did a book similar to this that's really cute. So I'm going to put the bling on there, and then I've got some Junkin Gems. I used the Aqua Vintage Rhinestone button and our metal doilies, and what I did was I cut the loop back off of the rhinestone button and then I glued it to the doilies. So that's what's happening here, but I don't know if it's dry yet. I think it's, oh, it's pretty close actually. So that is going to go on the inside in the middle there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a blob of glue right in the middle there where it's going to go. And I just put it in the middle because I'm going to need to slide this around to get it perfectly centered after I close the book. So when I close the book, then I'm going to center the piece so that it lines up perfectly with that hole. All right. So that's right about where I want it. And then I'm going to let this dry, and then I'll glue the chipboard back to the back. And all you're going to do is you're going to put glue on that back page right here, and you're going to stick that chipboard piece on. So this has got to dry for about 10 minutes, but pretty much that's what my cover is going to look like. I'm going to embellish this a little bit, and then I'll be back to show you the finished project. Alright, so I didn't do a whole lot to my book because I don't have a whole lot of time today to do a whole lot to it, but I just wanted to show you, so there's the front cover, you saw that, and I just want to show you how you could fit pictures in there. So I printed some of my Instagram pictures, see here, so I just stuck them in there, and oh my gosh, this is like something to put in the record books because I actually put pictures in one of my projects. This is something I get teased about all the time because I always do all these projects and mini books and I never put any pictures in them because I need more time. I need more time in my life. I need like 27 hours in a day so I can go and print pictures and do all this good stuff. No, that's just silly. I do have time. I just haven't, I've been lazy and I haven't printed anything. So, so this is how the Polaroid frames work. You stick the picture in there and then you glue it together. You basically sandwich it in there. Here's another fun one. So it's super cute. It's so tiny and it will fit in your purse and it would make a cute little gift. There's some Instax pictures that I had that I stuck in there, and I'm going to work on it a little bit more. So if you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, maybe you'll see some of these pages completed on there, and I'll share it on there. Or maybe I'll do another video for our next printable project. So I'm trying to do more printables because I know it's been a few months since I've posted any. So we are going to do a weekly printable now. I'm going to try to keep up with it and do a new weekly video on a new book. And you don't have to buy the printables to make this. I mean, I usually, like today I gave you measurements on this stuff. You can use your own papers. You can, you know, do anything you want, but the printables are really nice just because they're different. There's nothing else like it out there, and they're already printed to size, which is kind of cool. So here's a really cute pink page. I'll probably put some pictures of Brooke in this one because you know Brooke loves pink. So lots of fun little things that you could do with this book. It could fit in your purse. Another really cool idea is if you give this to a bride-to-be, and on the day of her wedding, she can kind of jot down all of her feelings and emotions and then fit in all of her little pictures sort of as a mini wedding album. Or you just keep it in your purse and write down like special things that your kids say when you're out and about or around the house. I think that's what I'm going to end up doing with mine, is I'll just keep it around and I'll, you know, write little things that my kids say and keep it forever, hopefully. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoy the project. Stay tuned next week because, like I said, we're going to do a weekly project on YouTube with our printables, and then we are eventually going to start doing, I think, 2 or 3 videos a week. So one's going to be our printable of the week, and then the other ones are going to be of our new product lines that we come out with. So we're going to do some fun projects with those. But I hope you like the project. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you come and follow me on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. I'd love to follow you back and see what you're up to. And please share your projects with us because we really, really love seeing them. Thanks again. I'll see you next time.